Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone, to Long Island, town of Islip's Long Island MacArthur Airport. We are so very excited to be here today with our very good Senator Chuck Schumer, who has some really exciting news for us today. We're also joined with New York State Senator Monica Martinez, members of our town board. She's right there. Members of our town board, Councilman John Cochran and Councilwoman Mary Kate Mullen, who have been extraordinarily supportive of the airport, and we're so grateful for that kind of support. Also with us today, we have members of the airport's advisory board, and they have been stalwarts in getting the message out about all the wonderful things that we have here at Long Island MacArthur Airport. And sharing that effort is Mitch Pally, who's with Libby. Mitch, you're there, and is our Suffolk representative to the MTA. So there are a lot of really important guys here who really are incredibly supportive of the efforts here. And our team at the airport are all around. Our Deputy Commissioner, Rob Schneider, and our Commissioner, Shelley LaRose, is on her way back on an airplane to Islip Airport.
There you go.
But is sorry that she wasn't able to be here today. So without further ado, I'd like to ask Senator Chuck Schumer to come up and share that exciting news.
Thank you. Thank you, Angie. And let me first thank Angie Carpenter for the great job she does as town supervisor of the town of Islip. Bigger than many cities in America. What is it, about 250,000 people?
Actually, 335,000.
330,000. It's grown.
Yes.
Since I was a kid. But anyway, she does a great job. I'm proud to work with her. We have our new senator, who has just been so dynamic in fighting for the interests of Islip. Senator Martinez is here, Monica Martinez. And Angie mentioned Mitch Paley. I don't know if she mentioned Kyle Strober and Matt Cohen, two former Schumer employees. Where'd they go? There they are, right next to each other. Both now fathers. I am a grandfather. Did you know that?
Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
Exciting.
3 months. And he sleeps through the night. At least last night. And so it's great to be here. And John Burke from D'Addario, which uses this airport all the time, one of our great Long Island, Suffolk County companies. And so this is Long Island's busiest airport. But we want to make it a lot busier. And that's what we're here about today. We're here today to urge the FAA to clear the runway for MacArthur to land some critical federal funding so it can meet the needs of a metro market bursting at the seams. We all know how crowded the other airports in New York City are. LaGuardia, Newark, and Kennedy. But they are overflowing. And so Islip is a logical place to grow with 3 million people on Long Island, and it's not very hard for people in Brooklyn and Queens to commute here. But we need to get more flights to more locations, particularly to the West Coast and to the Southwest, to make this airport grow. And that's what we're here today to talk about. Some of the airlines, some new airlines are getting new planes that will allow them to use Islip's runways that can travel all the way to the West Coast. There's an Airbus plane called the 220.
Rob?
Yes.
That's
Rob?
it. Very good.
Airbus plane called the 220 that's just coming on board that can use the length of Islip's runways to fly anywhere in the United States. And so we have an ideal opportunity to attract these airports here to attract these airlines here to Islip. I know you're going to ask what airlines there, but they want to keep that a secret, but there's lots of interest. And so that's a great thing. But to get that done, we need some infrastructure growth here at Islip Airport. Now, the FAA has something called the Airport Improvement Fund. I was able, in the budget we just passed, to get a $2 billion increase for the Airport Improvement Fund. And now Islip, right on the money, is ready to apply for some of those dollars. The Airport Improvement Fund, just like the federal government helps pay for highways, the federal government helps pay for airports, always has. But now with this new money, we have new opportunities. So given the fact that there's surging demand in the New York metropolitan area for air travel, Islip is ideally situated to pick up some of that slack. We're talking about some changes in the infrastructure that our airport experts are sure will make it easier to attract these new airplanes and the new airlines. The specifics are in the release. MacArthur has proposed $125 million. It's a $125 million design and capital construction project. It would be on track for 2020 and completed by 2022. And we are trying to get about some more money for that. The airport already has gotten $12 million from other sources. And how big is the grant we're applying for?
70 million.
An additional $70 million out of the Airport Improvement Fund to do the kinds of things that are needed. It's revamping the infrastructure, roads, sidewalks. It's revamping some of the terminals and the walkways between the terminals. And when the airlines look to come here, they want to see the brand new. They want brand new construction and up-to-date terminals, and that's what lures them here, and that'll be great for our entire economy. Okay? This project is grounded in reality, and it's meant to fly. And we're going to help it fly. I am here to commit to all of our Suffolk officials that I will do everything I can now to lobby the FAA to get funding. We've been very successful. The FAA came to me and said they needed an increase in the AIP in their budget. We got it for them, and now it's their turn to return some of that money to New York so that we can attract these new airlines.
Thank you so much, Senator Schumer. We are so very grateful for the senator's enthusiasm and support for Long Island MacArthur Airport. The town and the airport are striving to build a strong, sustainable airport with more choices for passengers who choose to use this airport, and why not? The customer experience here at Long Island MacArthur Airport is absolutely extraordinary. And our opportunity is now to reinvest in our asset that has generated more than $600 million per year to the local economy. The opportunity to secure more than $70 million, as the senator said, in capital funding for the construction of the West Concourse redevelopment project, April terminal improvements, has been embraced by the town and its board. We have passed resolutions in support of this, and that means a lot. Shows our commitment to this going forward and making sure that their investment in our airport is indeed sustainable. The airport, we are here for the future. We are here for the community. And you'll be hearing from many of the speakers who are members of the advisory board. But now, without further ado, I would like to introduce one of our newest senators, but someone who has shown a consistent commitment to Islip and its airport, Senator Monica Martinez.
Thank you. Thank you, Supervisor. And thank you, Senator Schumer, for being here on Long Island once again. This is such an exciting day for Islip, knowing that we have not only a strong advocate in our government, but here locally, our town of Islip officials are always out there making sure that we get all the possible grants to make Islip better. And I know that you'll be writing those letters, and you have my full support to know that we're going to bring additional infrastructure here on Long Island, here in Islip, making sure that our airport's a lot better. It's also going to bring an increase of tourism. I think it's going to bring more jobs. It's going to improve our infrastructure, and I think it's the first step by doing it. So I just want to thank the senator for his advocacy, and Supervisor for your vision of making the town of Islip that much better. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Monica.
you so much, Senator Martinez, and for your steadfast support. And the airport is fastest growing. We are the fastest growing regional airport. Last year had 1.6 million passenger enplanements. Someone who has been a real friend and advocate for the town of Islip in many, many ways, but certainly is the chair of our Airport Advisory Board. I'd like to bring up Mitch Pally from Libby, Long Island Builders Institute, and also the MTA. Mitch?
Thank you. Supervisor. Thank you, Senator Schumer, for your support. Thank you, Senator, and our council people. This is a great day. A stronger MacArthur Airport is a stronger and better Long Island. There is no question about it. And with everything that's happening around here, as you know, there's a large development on the north side. The Long Island Railroad just finished the second track to MacArthur's Ronkonkoma Station. So people from the entire metropolitan area are now able to get here by train. And we're going to make the shuttle between the train station and the airport that much better. Suffolk County is working on that. It's been a great partnership, and the expanded plans here to allow more airlines to use this is going to be tremendous. So, Senator, thank you for your support,
Mitch.
and we look forward to the next thing being you're back here for the groundbreaking in that regard. That would be great.
Sounds like a
thank
plan.
you.
Thank you so much, Mitch. And without further ado, I'd like to bring someone up who's also on our advisory board, who is very keenly aware of how important a regional asset like Long Island MacArthur Airport is to the business community, and that's the Executive Director of the Association for a Better Long Island, Kyle Strober.
Yay.
Well, thank you, Supervisor. I can say I've worked with many administrations and many people at MacArthur, and the team, the leadership from your end, and also the team you've assembled here is second to none. And the vision and their aggressiveness to improve the airport is just remarkable. And this is an example right here. I know firsthand that the senator has been relentless in promoting the airport. Nobody fights harder for Long Islanders, particularly for the business community and to spur economic development. So we thank you for that.
Thank you, Kyle.
And I just want to add this, that MacArthur Airport might be one of the single greatest economic engines on Long Island. There's a New York State study that says that each employment generates approximately $200 in additional economic activity in our region, and I think Rob Schneider will get us the exact number after. But in this global economy, connectivity is so important, and providing this airport with these tools to have transatlantic flights will not only retain businesses and jobs here on Long Island, but it will encourage corporations and companies across the country to come here because this airport can provide that type of service and connect them to the rest of the country and maybe even outside the country at some point.
You
So
never know.
for that regard, we thank the supervisor, we thank the town of Islip, Senator Martinez, the councilman, and Senator Schumer. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle Strober.
Thank you so much, Kyle. I'd just like to give you a sense of the breadth of the advisory board. I've mentioned it a few times, but we have with us today David Manning, who's with Brookhaven Labs. Also John Tunis, who's has been involved for years in the hospitality industry, a local banker in town, and also Kevin Law, who we all know is the CEO of the Long Island Association. He has been a tireless advocate for us here in Islip and at the airport. And I would like to ask Matt Cohen, who also joins us on the advisory board, who is vice president of the LIA. Matt, if he would come say a few words, especially in his previous tenure working for the senator.
As did Kyle.
Thank you,
Matt?
Supervisor. Thank you.
They all go on to bigger and better things.
All the veterans.
Having worked for Senator Schumer about 10, 12 years ago, I know firsthand that there's been no better advocate from the federal government than Senator Schumer. We've been fighting for MacArthur Airport for a long time together, and both in his office and now here at with the LIA. MacArthur Airport has a lot of tremendous assets, but no doubt one of its greatest assets has to be the triple threat of the federal side with Senator Schumer, the state side with Senator Martinez, and the town side with Supervisor Carpenter. Under their leadership, this airport keeps getting better and better and more appealing and affordable for our residents and businesses. And finally, just speaking on behalf of the business community, we're looking forward to more federal support from Senator Schumer and the federal government, because businesses here want to be able to use this airport. They want to travel more. They don't want to have to go to LaGuardia or Kennedy all the time. And being able to have more options and more destinations is a win-win for the business community and for Long Island and for the town as well. So thank you very much, Senator. And thank you,
Thank you,
Supervisor.
Matt.
Thank you so much, Matt. And I also wanted to recognize Donna Moravec, who's the executive director of Southside with Northwell Healthcare Systems. She too is on the advisory board, and the network that she has in sharing all of the good things at the airport here is so very important, and we're very grateful for that. And our last speaker today, and before I bring him up, I just want to one more time thank the leadership team and everyone who's involved here at the airport. You know, the fire guys, the public safety guys, everyone who's part of this team here, and certainly Rob and Commissioner Shelley LaRosa Arkin for what they do. It really is teamwork, all levels of government, the business community. We have really been pulling together, and that I really feel is what makes the difference. And with the senator in our corner, you know, we're going to get there. So now I'd like to ask John Burke, who is with D'Addario Company, very exciting company, to come say a few words. John?
Thank you, Supervisor. Good afternoon. Just would like to start by, on behalf of D'Addario and Company and our CEO, Jim D'Addario, and our company president, John D'Addario, thank the Senator for what he's always done, which is, and it's true here today as well, he's helped us combat counterfeit goods being sold on the internet. And I want to thank Supervisor Carpenter and members of the board for hosting this event. D'Addario has over 750 of its nearly 1,200 worldwide employees here on Long Island. But we also have facilities located elsewhere here in the United States. Our D'Addario Woodwinds facility is out in Los Angeles, where we make reeds and mouthpieces for saxophones and clarinets. And myself and other executives and team members have to fly out to California frequently. So the thought of being able to come to this great facility to fly out to the West Coast rather than have to go into JFK or LaGuardia is something that we're truly excited about. So on behalf of the D'Addario family, we just wanted to come here today to emphasize our support for this initiative, and that we'll do whatever you need, whether it's meeting with federal officials or writing letters, to make sure that this proposal moves forward and becomes a reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. It's a great Long Island company.
Thank you so much, John. We really appreciate your kind words. Again, I want to acknowledge my teammates on the town board, Mary Kate Mullen and John Cochran. We really need that support at the town board level, and they have been absolutely steadfast.
They have a $2 billion increase in the Airport Improvement Fund. We are asking, and I helped get that, I pushed very hard, and we're asking for only a small percentage of that, $70 million. The whole project is $125 million, 70 from the feds if we get that money. The state has chipped in, localities have chipped in. It's a project for all three levels of government.
I'd rather focus on the positive, and it is not recent that they left. That certainly was before my tenure and the leadership here at the airport. So the airlines that have come here, Frontier, for example, has been extraordinarily successful, and I see that with everyone else coming forward. And we are not just grasping at anyone who wants to come here.
Right.
It's a very different world now in the airline industry. You have to demonstrate to them that they will be successful here. You've got to give them the analytics. They want facts and figures. And there have been airlines that have come forward and said they'd like to fly out of here. And when the team sat with them and explained the logistics and the reality of it and realized they couldn't make a profit, they left, because we don't want to hear what you've just said, that airlines come and then they go.
And
Thank
this would expand the markets for Islip. One of the most lucrative markets for airlines is the East Coast to West Coast, to LA in particular, but San Francisco, Seattle. That hasn't been able to happen from Islip, and they're jammed to their gills up at Kennedy and at Newark flying there. LaGuardia doesn't. And so this is a great opportunity that we're taking advantage of, that's not just based on a hope and a wish and a prayer, but based on economic reality. The airport does not dictate prices to the airlines, but they're going to want to make a go of it, and the less it costs, the more people will fly.
And the cost for an airline per passenger, the fee from Long Island MacArthur Airport is probably about half of what that is at JFK and LaGuardia. So the reason to come here is there. We've just got to get the destinations up. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you
very much,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
Senator, thank you
Great to
so
see you,
much.
Angie.
Thank you. Really.
You're the greatest.